Any more questions right now? Okay. Well, moving on just from a cost point of view, I do want to ask some issues, cover some issues on the lack of standards, industry standards. At times, we've heard already from the panelists, preference for their own IP is a key differentiator between crystalline, but obviously as well, you've got those issues in thin film. But is it, do you feel that industry standards, obviously you've got semi-pushing standards in various ways, I mean even from in helping in tool install, ramp up, the actual equipment specifications. Are there some issues there, or do you feel that you'd rather have it all proprietary and standards aren't going to help? Dr. Huang, what do you think of the standards as a whole?
Okay, I think I can make some comments because I'm a standard right for China in IEC committee. So basically, I think for standards, it's a problem of communication. I think that now manufacturers, a lot of manufacturers in China, market, Europe a lot, US, and China market start to pick up. But basically, it's still the lack of communication. I think SEMI also organizing a lot of activities in Europe, in China. Actually, tonight, maybe I do some promotion. Tonight there will be a SEMI China line at the Radisson Hotel. So basically, we are trying to propose more communications along with the whole community. Work with the SEMI also working on the standards. I think that IEC also working with the standard. I think Austin Rick, the chairman of this conference, he's the IEC TC 82 chairman. So basically for W2, we are working on the W2, on the module standard. I think that standard is a very good way for the industry to work together. I think that, I give one example maybe. IEC TC82 committee was first time held in China in May this year. So basically China was proposed for two standards proposals. We collaborate with Santec, INLI, CSI. We have a national standard discussion. So finally now, I think yesterday I received the first round of lobbying standard testing results from worldwide, from Japan and US, different places. So I think this is a way on the platform the industry should work together. This is not, I mean that your problem or my problem is our problem to solve, really push the industry forward. I think because of these standard activities that we are able to visit. I think we have a lot of activities that I visit the Santec reliability lab. Santec also visits our reliability lab. I think the IEC TC82 committee members also visiting our state key lab for the reliability testing. So I think this should be the way that the industry should do more communications to work on the standards, promote the standards, move together to make the standard available for everyone, not only beneficial to enhance the quality of your product, but also that maybe for the different market needs, we need to divide it for different standards. So all those are important from my point of view.
We've obviously had quality issues over the years with things like polysilicon. Pietro, I think SEMI has put out the first sort of proposed standards on polysilicon, for instance. Is this a good thing? Is this what helps potentially help keep driving costs down or raise the standard of quality of other people's polysilicon?
I would say it is a communication problem. And it is important to have reference to communicate and to compare. quality. So it is very important, not only for poly, but also for mono and multi crystals and wafers to have common technique or methodology to measure their properties. In particular, for poly, we are still at the beginning of the standardization, and the reason is that there are two main products that are competing or working together, the UMG and the solar poly. The two are very different, and it is difficult to find out the right compromise and only one solution. But we make the first step, and personally, I feel that we have to work more and more on this way.
Stuart, obviously we have heard from Trina about some collaborations there, but do you feel there's, what kind of issues do you see with standards?
Look, I think standards are very important in our industry because it's a very young industry, it's a very dynamic industry, rapidly growing. And so standards, I think, are very, very important, and it's very important not just to have the standards, but to be constantly reviewing them. Just to give you a quick example, a lot of the major companies now are looking for new selective emitter technology as a way of enhancing cell performance and module performance. Now, one of the consequences of that is that this type of technology has improved response to short wavelengths of light. Now, conventional EVA encapsulation does not respond well to shorter wavelengths of light transmission. And so we've got the situation now where the existing standards for the IEC testing don't very well test the modules for exposure to ultraviolet light. So we have a situation now where companies can modify their EVA to give better transmission to suit their selective emitter technology without the standards requiring those modules to be properly tested under exposure to ultraviolet light. And so you can get significant improvements in your module, but we may be compromising the durability in doing so. And so, for instance, at Suntech, we have some new formulations of EVA that give much better transmission at the shorter wavelengths of light. And these materials pass all the IEC tests, but we're not willing to use it. We're not willing to use it because the IEC tests don't properly evaluate the material for ultraviolet light exposure. Just to give you an idea, less than 1 year exposure to ultraviolet light is what the IEC testing is equivalent to. And that's just not the state. So I think that sort of, highlights the importance of us constantly upgrading our standards.